Siema, siema, siema. Dobra. Lecimy dalej.
Soon, I have to be ready to face anything. I'm determined to save Shion and Dana. No.
No, zobaczymy teraz. Na wszelki wypadek zapiszemy. Okej.
Hold up, you guys.
What is it?
Myślałem, że to będzie
I want to
boss.
look through that room over there. Curious what we'll find.
That's the room you visited in your past, right? Sure. We can check it out. This looks like some kind of research.
A laboratory secreted away in the Forbidden Zone. Why am I past being surprised?
Looks pretty deserted.
Let's check it out.
I think I can make...
Well, can you make head or tail of...
These are experiment records, by the looks of it. Reams of them, dating back hundreds of years. A composite being capable of controlling Dahnan astral energy, so as to convert its molecular and elemental makeup. The creation of a governing central figure, taking the form of a Dahnan. Codename Sovereign.
Sovereign.
Wait, there's more. Research into utilizing force field crystals for the purpose of stable astral energy containment. That must be the master cores. With all this raw data, there's bound to be records here somewhere about the Maiden and the Lords, too.
About the Lords? Why would they be on there?
Think about it. The Lord's crests are clearly of a piece with those of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. Not to mention the fact that the contenders to the crown are selected from otherwise regular Renan citizens. In other words, it may be that all Renans are unwittingly being made subject to some kind of grand scheme.
What about the Sovereign? Does it...
Where do I start? All I've read so far is the headlines. There's so much here. To sift through all of it would require special...
What is it? Did you find something?
It's a list of names, with the title, Test Subjects, Sovereign. It's your call.
Read it.
There must be dozens of test subjects listed here. Hundreds even. All of them failures. Wait, I think I've found one that was successful.
On.
Test
Eksperymentowali.
subject number 1273. Ethnicity, NA. Unique Adjustment Index, Generation, NA. Given name,
Alf. Tylko on to przeżył chyba.
They re-engineered me. Right here in this lab.
Alphen.
It's fine, really.
Test subject number 10105. Ethnicity, NA. Unique Adjustment Index, Generation, NA. Given name, Volron.
Dokładnie.
Volron? But that means...
He's only sovereign because someone made him that way too.
He's the last one. In 3 centuries worth of records, you and Volron are the only 2 subjects on whom the experiment was a success.
I on dostał w dupsko ode mnie.
But what about the winners of the crown contests? Does this mean that none of them were ever crowned sovereign after all?
Upon victory, the sovereign shall return to Rena and rule over Rena and Lenegis combined. When a new sovereign is decided, the outgoing monarch shall relinquish their post and live out the rest of their days on Rena. So we were told. But according to these records, there have only ever been two sovereigns, neither of whom had anything to do with the crown contest. It's all lies, including the part about the sovereign residing in Rena. The crown contest was never about deciding a new ruler. It must always have been devised for some other purpose.
But even supposing that's true, someone must have been in charge for the past 3 centuries, right? If it wasn't the Sovereign, then who was it?
Crown contests have been held this whole time, in spite of the fact that there was already a sovereign. Me. Meaning that for the past 300 years, someone out there has to have been maintaining that lie. The same person I'm willing to bet is behind all this.
The Red Woman? It's possible. But that doesn't necessarily mean she's the mastermind behind this scheme. She could be working for someone else. Someone back on the Renan homeworld.
Either way, it's fair to say she's definitely involved somehow.
What about the data records? Is there no other information that could help us?
Not that I can see. Just file upon file of experiment results. There's nothing here about who's behind all this, or what their endgame is, unfortunately. I've barely managed to scratch the surface, mind you. You won't be able to read through it all, but you're welcome to take a look through what you can, while we're here.
I'll do that.
So this is where Alphen became the Sovereign, and Volron as well. The significance of this location would...
Elektroniczny Center Control Device for the spiritual thing. To jest akurat ciekawe. On jest bazą. Maiden jest support.
Suggest.
Okay.
Hey, it looks like the terminals in here turned on too.
We should look through them. They might contain valuable information.
O, Life Bottle 3. Ona mu to założyła.
Maori, I...
Don't talk. I have to do this. I gave you my word that I'd help you return to Dahna. The next time you open your eyes, you'll be home.
But you...
My place is here with my people. I still have a duty to fulfill. I'm sorry for what you've endured. Rena never should have dragged you into this. It's not your burden to bear.
But...
The mask contains a sedative. It should keep your mind from tearing itself apart any further. Let yourself go to sleep. This should help with the pain. Time to go, Elfin. Farewell.
Naori.
His injuries are worse than I thought. Short-term treatment isn't going to cut it. I'll have to switch the healing pod to long-term hibernation mode.
Nagle 300 lat.
The chance of surviving hibernation's less than 10%? And worse, long-term use of the mask carries a high risk of damaging his mind and nervous system. But... If I don't head back, Lenegis will be nothing but ashes, and this starship along with it. I don't know if I can fulfill my promise to you, Alphen. But if doing this will grant you even the slightest chance, I have to try. I hope it's enough. Please, live for me, Alphen.
Wow.
That vision. It must have been from when Naori helped Alphen escape Lenegis.
She sure went above and beyond the call of duty.
Even with Lenegis crumbling down around her, she chose to stay put with her.
So that's why you lost your memories and sense of pain, and why you were asleep for that whole time. It was all the result of one agonizing decision Naori made to...
Yeah. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't even be alive today.
Now that you know how she felt,
She kept her promise. If the Renan people she fought so desperately to protect are at risk from a malevolent force, then I owe it to her. Naori was the one who put that mask on me. It made me Iron Mask.
She did it to prevent your soul from tearing itself apart.
Ręczka,
She knew you
kurczak.
might lose your memories and sense of pain as a result. But more than anything, she wanted you to survive. And you did.
No to śmigamy dalej. Heavy trade. To co? Jeszcze walka?
This place. We've seen this in one of Naori's memories.
Of course.
Ceremonial Center. To ten rytuał się robił.
After 300 years, this is where it was held. The spirit channeling ceremony. This is where the Renis Alma was.
So this is the place where you and Naori...
the Renis Alma isn't here now. Nor is the Red Woman, it seems.
I know it's difficult, Alphen, but there will be time to dwell on the past later.
Naori.
What is this? Is it the work...
It's been a year since the ceremony. That day, I shut away inside of myself the power that caused Alphen to lose control. Since then, my visions of the future have grown more and more fearsome.
Is this another memory? No, it's different this time. It's like she's speaking directly to us.
What we did back then. Not so much as a day passes when I don't think about it. About what was done to us. All in the name of a ceremony. The purpose of which we were never even told. As Sovereign, they linked Alphen's consciousness to Lenegis itself. The Renis Alma was intended to control his power, lest anything should slip through its cracks. That day, as Maiden, my role was to temper his power. I was meant to guide it forth, and give shape to the strength inside of him.
Linked to Lenegis itself? But then, everything that's been happening.
But that power showed me a vision. A vision of oblivion. When I realized that vision was a prophecy of the apocalypse we were about to unleash, I couldn't go through with it. But without a maiden, the ceremony was doomed. Alphen lashed out, his consciousness no longer his own. I did what I could. Using my abilities as the maiden, I tried to seal that power away inside of me. But it was too late. Lenegis had already been brought to its knees. Thousands upon thousands of lives so cruelly snuffed out. All because of me. Because of what I had done. With the destructive force now slumbering inside of me, I knew I had to find a way to dispose of it. Anything to make up for my failure. But I didn't know how. Especially since that power was astral energy itself. In which case, ironically enough, the Renis Alma seemed to be my best bet. That, at least, would hold the astral energy dormant. Assuming that no malevolent third party got to it first. With the Sovereign and Maiden's combined power, perhaps I could shift the chaotic energy inside me into the Renis Alma instead. That's what I hoped, but alas, it was not to be. The Renis Alma was lost, and Alphen, the Sovereign, was in a starship bound for Dahna. My only choice was to seal away the destructive force inside of me using my powers as the Maiden, to buy the world what little time I could. The time needed for a new Renis Alma to be crafted, and for a new Sovereign to appear. Even if by doing so, it meant I would be passing the curse on to my descendants as well. Please, forgive me. I never meant to burden the future world with this threat too. I only wish that there was something more I could have done.
Wait, you can't just...
Naori.
That message just now, was it directly from Naori? Or was it the Dahnan voice speaking through her?
O, nowa ubrańka.
What?
These are the clothes that Naori and I wore during the ceremony 3 centuries ago.
So you're saying this is the Maiden's outfit?
That's right. These clothes are designed to resonate with the Sovereign and Maiden's abilities. They focus and enhance them.
And they appeared now because...
Naori must have left them here for the new Sovereign and Maiden, knowing the day would come when they would need them in their fight against the Thorns.
These outfits are directly linked to the answers we've been chasing this whole time. If they're here, it must mean it was Naori's will for us to find those answers as well.
Locating the Rena's Alma would allow us to neutralize the dark astral energy inside Xion, thereby silencing her thorns. Is that what Naori's suggesting?
It makes sense. After all, Master Cores and Spirit Vessels are both able to prevent the astral energy inside them from developing sentience. By that logic, it would stand to reason that the Rena's Alma would have the same ability on a larger scale.
We have a Maiden and Sovereign. Now all we need is the Rena's Alma, and we'll finally be able to free you of your thorns. Xion.
It's possible? You really think so?
I do. We can rid you of your thorns and stop the world from falling to oblivion.
Oni się powtarzają.
However, the spirit channeling ceremony already failed once. Even if our goal is different this time, we can't be sure the same thing won't happen again. We should take care not to be too optimistic.
You're right. It's the barest sliver of a chance. But if there's even the slightest hope it can work, I'm willing to stake everything I've got on it.
I know it's too early to let myself feel relieved, but I just can't seem to help it. Just hearing there's the slightest chance, even though I know the world's still in great peril. It's selfish of me, I know, but still.
No, it isn't. You found hope to believe in. It'd be strange if you weren't over the moon about it.
Rinwell's right. We can rid you of your curse and still save the world at the same time.
Thank you. Naori entrusted us with the fate of all humanity. Now, it's up to us to prove that trust was well placed.
Starting with a little game called Hunt the Rena's Alma.
Yeah, we've come all this way. Now we just need to search Lenegis and Rena until we find it.
Yeah, we can protect the world and save Xion at the same time.
I too shall lend my services. My knowledge of Renan lore is bound to be a useful asset.
And they say modesty is dead.
Miracles just seem to follow wherever you go, huh?
How do you know it's me they're following? We're all in this together, Xion. You included. Now let's get moving, shall we? Last I heard, we had an apocalypse to stop.
Jak fajnie. Nowe są
Thank you,
razem, nowa
Naori.
ubranka, nowy cel.
So Naori sealed away the power that made me lose control of She stopped my rampage. But then, that power she'd sealed away was passed down. I'm so sorry, Xion.
You're wrong. What happened to you was because of the ceremony, and that you paid a heavy price for it. And then the reason you lost your
Is the reason for your
The thorns.
It all leads back to them. But once they're gone, we can finally put...
When my thorns are gone, I never dared to dream that such a thing... No. The truth is, I think maybe I've always been dreaming about a life without the touch of my family, holding hands with Rinwell, embrace all the I always... Is it really okay for me to believe it can happen? I'm
Tak,
so
tak,
scared
tak,
of getting my
stanie się.
hopes. What if it doesn't
No,
work out in the end?
spoko.
That's not
Uda
going to
się.
happen.
Nie bój się.
I'm here
Nie
to
bój
make sure
się.
it won't. Forget fate or destiny. We're going to live a normal life. There are a lot of things you still...
Yeah, it's such a... I know that we've still got plenty, and it's for my sake.
You're worth fighting.
I believe you.
Good. I'll keep on fighting until our future.
O. Latest Maiden. O. Tak. Dobrze. Głębina. Okej, tak.
That's quite some door, all right. This might finally be it.
We'll find the Rena's Alma and the Red Woman inside.
After everything we've been through to get here,
We'll probably be needing you to open this one for us, Sovereign.
Go for it, Alphen.
This is it, guys. Time to see what secret...
No dobrze.
Volron! He really was still alive.
And there's the Rena's Alma. Then, is this another spirit channeling ceremony?
Wait, though. Something doesn't seem right here.
Place. Oh, once more, the powers must be united. Born from the fires of chaos, the world does seek its rightful state. All must be sacrificed in the heart of Rena, at the shrine of the true sovereign.
What has happened to him? He's lost himself. Reduced to a mere cog in the machine.
Hey, look! Over there!
Isn't that the Maiden's crest?
Can it be that this entire chamber is meant to act as a substitute for the Maiden?
Oof.
it looks like it's still running, but are we already too late to stop the ceremony?
If that's what caused Lenegis' transformation, then the purpose of the ceremony must have been to drain all the astral energy out of Dahna.
But for what purpose?
Dokładnie,
Could
dlaczego?
possibly need astral energy on that sort of scale?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll bet it's connected to those visions of oblivion. Regardless, we cannot stand by and let them steal Dahna's energy. That said, we should retrieve the Rena's Alma. Because right now, we need that most of all.
He's not gonna lunge at us out of nowhere, right?
Not the time, Law.
Alphen, look!
The Red Woman! So we finally found you. I have a lot of questions for you.
Wait!
What?
They all have the same face? How is that even possible?
Co się dzieje?
What is this?
Who the hell are they?
It can't be. Are they even people?
It's hard to know for sure, but I think they're the true rulers of Rena.
They're not feeling particularly talkative.
It's no use, Alphen. If we don't fight, we may as well be sitting just here.
Good point. Let's stop them before this gets out of hand. Burn in hell! You're mine! Escape! Dragon War!
Save you!
Far enough!
Not in your dreams!
Take it! Dragon War! Rising Warfare!
I really owe you one.
That's super slow dead!
Take this! You shouldn't have messed with me!
No escape!
Lunar correction!
You're mine! Dragon War!
Will this help?
Here I come!
Blah, blah, blah.
Not today!
First strike! Where are you going?
You're enough! Rising Warfare!
Here's the healing art. wailing hurricane!
Take this! Stop! Rising Wyvern! Now!
Raging storm!
Anything normal is all mine! Take this!
Raging cascade! All the power of my healing arts to accomplish this! Purge malevolence! Arctic
This one's all mine! Ignite! Inferno Blast!
Here!
Okej, już jeden mam.
I'll finish you here and now! Take this! Can't get out of this!
Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy glimmer!
Explosive ray! Here I come! Rolling hurricane! Soda!
This one's mine! We have energy! Dance in the wind!
I'm not done!
With my heart! A wailing damsel! Here, let me help! Illuminate wall!
I'm on it!
Holy ground! Holy love!
Not now! Not now!
Raging storm! Healing!
I'm just getting started!
Raging water!
That's
Dragon
Swarm!
I'll be saving! I'm going to need to use all the power of my
You're
healing
mine!
arts to accomplish this.
Storm! You're finished! I owe you one! What's this? Rising Wyvern! Eagle Fly! Soda! Ellen Storm! You're on! Blue escape!
Już powyżej połowę.
Not on my watch!
Ellen Hurricane!
Hit! Illuminate the dark!
Thrust!
Come forth, Lord! Hear me! Holy
You're
Lord!
mine! This one's all mine! Dragon Swarm!
Wailing dancing
Rising
lightning!
Wyvern!
What's this? Now!
You're on! Ignite! Dragon Swarm! Dragon Shell! I'm nearly done for.
Purge malevolent! Healing circle! This one's mine!
Here I come! Freaking does it! Karma won't save you!
Dance in the wind! Burning
You're blue! You're on! Take this! I'm not done! Ignite! Dragon Swarm!
What's this? Lunar Blast!
Try harder!
Uff. On leży.
My friends! You're mine! Dragon Swarm! Rising Wyvern! Not today! I owe you one! Storm! You're on! Here I come!
I'll be confiscated!
Dragon Swarm! Can't get out of this!
Thunder by the power of Florida! Vanish without a
Take
trace!
this!
More where that came from!
I'm not done!
Feel! I'll be saving!
Dragon Swarm!
With astral
Rising
energy!
Wyvern!
Raging That'll bring you down!
You're mine! You're on!
Dance in the wind!
Ignite!
O, mam go. Albo ją. Albo ich. Na pewno będzie długa faza jeszcze.
Surrender! Fighting is useless now!
Do you think it's really over?
Astral energy. Watch out! They've got something up their sleeve!
What?
It's self-destructed?
Alvin!
I'm okay. Just a little roughed up.
You had me worried there.
Who said you could touch that?
Uff.
Damn it! He's awake!
I should have thought as much.
So you know this place?
Naturally, it was built for me, after all. We'll save that for another time. More pressing is how I'm going to tear you apart. Even after all this time, you still insist on hating me? You cut me down. Sovereign or not, you will pay for that.
You're obviously bluffing. You can't even move right now.
Really, is that what you think? Did you really think that such a petty device could hold me?
Are you going to claim it's because you're a ruler? Be it sovereigns or lords. In the end, they're all titles given by someone else.
Plus, what kind of ruler would spend all his time chasing Alf, who happens to be another sovereign?
Idle prattle. I proved my worth and the Sovereign's powers were granted to me.
Were they really? We already know the title of Sovereign doesn't denote royalty. It is but an overblown codename for those with a designated part to play in these proceedings. You mentioned before that you were not the only one stolen from Dahna, correct?
Yeah. There were countless. And every one of them besides me died.
All of those failed experiments, and they still kept going back to Dahna. There must have been some vital reason their subject had to specifically be a Dahnan. Then there were the records we found in the library, for you and Volron. They were logged 300 years apart, and yet the data they took from you was exactly the same. Which leads us to a single conclusion.
Są pokrwieni.
Then you mean Boran was kidnapped just like Alfin? But then he became
A slave from Dahna. Just like us. Isn't that right, Volron?
So he posed as a Renan and caused all that suffering to his own people?
How could you? If you knew the pain of being a slave, why would you inflict that upon others?
Renan and Dahnan are meaningless distinctions. Me and everyone else. That is all that matters. I will stand above all others and take what is rightfully mine, starting with this.
Oof.
a red woman.
Another one?
Give your master back on Rena this message. No one makes a fool of me.
Będzie
Let
moim
them
ziomkiem
know I'll
potem.
make them suffer.
Don't do it!
Serenus Alva!
It's too late. You can't stay here.
We need to go. Outfit!
Skocz. Zaufaj mi. Złapał.
Go. But no, I will be your shadow no matter where you try to run.
Let's go.
Never forget, I am the one who devours everything. Who answers to neither spirit nor man. My word is law. I am.
Chyba
Are you two okay?
martwy jesteś.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Is Volron... Have we finally seen the last of him?
We can but hope.
Those red women. What the heck was Could they be the ones behind all this? The same ones who put those soldiers in Faria in a trance?
What? Those brainless things? Either way, they've done a runner with the Renaissance. Damn it, that's the second time now!
Te miśki.
Whatever's stolen from us, we'll steal it back. The future's ours to protect. And right now, those things are what's standing in our way. We can head them off at Rena.
Did you say Rena?
Volron mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the motherland somewhere.
If that monstrous form's their true identity, I shudder to think who they take orders from.
Yeah. There's a good chance it's not human.
So this thing over on Rena, that's what's really behind all this, huh?
They have the Renaissance in their grasp already, so it's unlikely they'll have cause to return to Dahna.
Then we're agreed. Let's head back to the starship.
Wow.
But seriously, I was not expecting Volron to actually be here.
He seemed to care not one whit about Brennan's or Dahnan's.
Yeah, and not in a good way like with us.
Dobrze. Na tym zakończę odcinek, ale były emocje. Uff.